Hi there, thanks for joining me. Today I'm here with Jon Fleming, who is the owner and head photographer at Jon Fleming Photography. And thanks, Jon, for taking some time out of your busy day. I know you're really busy. We had to kind of work around a schedule a little bit, but thanks for joining me.
Hi, Doreen. Thanks for having me.
Super, super. So why don't we get right into this? And why don't you, I know it's Jon Fleming Photography, but why don't you go ahead and describe your business for everybody so that they can get a good picture about what you're all about.
Sure. So photographer, I offer photography and photo booth rentals for events in DC, Maryland, Virginia. For couples, I photograph surprise proposals, engagements, and weddings. For businesses and corporate clients, I do conferences, events. During December, we do a lot of holiday parties, galas, fundraisers, so photography and photo booth rentals. We're able to brand prints with companies' logos. For corporate clients and for weddings, we can put couples' names and stuff on prints and stuff like that to customize for your event.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's great. So you are one of those guys that I always wonder how, when I see these postings of people's engagements, and I know my niece just had hers. So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so exciting to be a part of like a couple's wedding day and document so many stories.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything in particular you want to share? Any one story in particular?
So one of the most exciting things I get to photograph for couples is the surprise proposal moment. So really like helping people plan their proposal to their partner and getting that yes moment and the reaction. So that's one of the most exciting things I get to photograph.
I bet that seems like a lot of fun. So talk about what made you decide to get into this business. How did you get started?
Yeah, for me, photography started as a hobby. It started photographing friends, family, personal stuff. And then I started to get requests like, can you photograph my wedding? And so I would start doing that. And it grew and it became a business and something I am really passionate about.
And that shows in your pictures. I was looking at some of your photos on your website. Nice. Yeah, I can see. Yeah. Good eye, good eye. So as you were going through and deciding to start this business, was there anybody in particular? Did you have a mentor or someone who influenced you and pointed you in this direction?
Yeah, when I first started, I was new, so I would reach out to local business owners, photographers that were established, and see if I can learn from them, if I can help them, if I could just come and follow them on a job. So that's kind of where I started. I would go and I would just come and watch, and then I would go and I would help carry a bag or grab the photographer a water or something like that. Anything I can do for free just to learn or make connections. And after a while, I started getting more experience. I would become like the second photographer on an event where there would be a lead photographer. I would be the second photographer. Sometimes in the photography world, when you have a large event, you might have multiple photographers. So I mentored with a couple photographers for a few years before kind of starting my own business. And then still today, even as an established photographer for over 10 years, I'm always connecting with other photographers, other business owners, always learning and evolving, and then even mentoring others.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So, and that's kind of like an apprentice, I guess, or journeyman. That on-the-job training is probably the best. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was so thankful for the people that helped me when I started. So now I'm happy to give back and help other people who are starting that journey.
Yeah, and that's always a good way to be when you're at the top of your game. Always reach back and help those who are, climbing the same mountain, right? So it's a good business model. Good for you. Well, what would your customers say they like or love most about you or your business? What if as your customers, what's your feedback?
Sure. So for many people, planning a proposal or planning a wedding or even an event, it might be the first time you're planning. You might be first time for usually for weddings, the first time they're having a wedding. So one thing I enjoy in my business is kind of guiding people through the process with wedding planning for their photography and teaching them what they need to know. How do you need to plan your timeline for your day to incorporate photography and make sure you have enough time and stuff like that, and guiding people to help them have a successful event and get the photos that they're looking for. So that's something I really enjoy in the process, and something my clients appreciate as well.
I know. Years and years that a lot of people say, "Oh, I spent so much time getting pictures, I didn't even get to enjoy my wedding." So, I guess planning how you can do that efficiently is probably a good idea that maybe other photographers don't talk about or don't manage ahead of time.
Yeah,
So,
I work with my clients to make sure that we can get the balance of getting the photos that they want, but also being able to enjoy their wedding day. And part of that is planning ahead of time and working through the timeline, um, and making sure we can satisfy everyone's needs.
yeah, yeah. There's probably a lot more. I mean, it's been many, many years for me. Probably a lot of planning that should go into a wedding, especially when it's such a big event. Yeah. Wow. And
Yeah.
that's good to think about. Making sure that time is managed effectively and efficiently. Um, all right, so now I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you to share your most memorable experience as a photographer. I'm sure you have a lot, but tell me like the one that stands out in your mind, good or bad.
Yeah, there's so many stories I have. One of my most memorable from recently is I had the pleasure of traveling to Germany last year for a wedding. One of my really good friends from high school got married, and it lives now in Germany. So it was really memorable to travel and witness the United States. There were some cultural things in the wedding that were different than other weddings I had witnessed, and just traveling to a new country that I have never been to was a very cool experience.
Oh wow! What was something a little different? Share with us that was culture. I know I've seen Italian weddings and Jewish weddings and combinations of different weddings, but tell me, I've never been to
Yeah.
a German wedding.
So after their ceremony, they left the church and there was a log of wood, and they had a saw, and the couple had to saw the log in half. And I had never seen that before. And it represents the first big task the couple did as a married couple. So all the guests would gather around in a circle and watch them saw the log and cheer them on.
Oh
It
wow!
so it was very exciting, and a tradition that I had never seen before. And that's something really that I enjoy about weddings is there's so many cultures and so many different traditions that I get to see and photograph.
Oh wow! Oh, that must have been so much fun. What part of Germany was that?
Right outside of Frankfurt.
Oh wow! Wow! Oh, that's really exciting. Yeah, and I never heard of that tradition. So good for you. Um, Talk about what people might not know. I mean, when you think about photographers, we know they show up, they take pictures, like any other business, but there's a lot of that most people probably don't know about photography business. So share with us some things that people might not know about your business.
Yeah, so while I am a photographer, there is a lot more that goes into what I do. And what I touched on before, there's a lot of planning involved. There's a lot of collaborating with my clients to learn about what they're looking for, learning about the flow of their event, both for weddings and for corporate clients. For weddings, there's a lot of timeline planning involved in their day, and coordinating with other wedding vendors. So sometimes we have a wedding planner, a videographer, a DJ, an officiant. So there's a lot of other people that we work with on the wedding day, and a lot of time before the wedding day that goes into planning and coordinating with these people. Um, on aside from weddings, for corporate events, we're doing a lot of behind the scenes on planning and learning what the client's looking for. A lot of times we photograph to get content for websites and social media and stuff like that, or their marketing material. So learning what they're looking for and seeing how we can best help them.
I guess now with weddings, engaged couples, creating those websites. So you would do also some pictures for that website as well. You could incorporate that into a package. So say you were a couple getting married, you're having a big wedding day, whatever. Is that something you would do?
Yeah, so a lot of people, when they're planning their wedding and they have their wedding website, they use their engagement photos as part of the website. So we work with some of our couples to do an engagement session, usually about 6 months before their wedding. And a lot of those photos can be used for their website, their social media. Sometimes people incorporate it in their decor or like a guest book for people to sign on their wedding day. So there's so many uses people can use their photos for.
And you coordinate that, like creating that guest book and things, or is that something that the...
Yeah, we can create guest books, we create wedding albums, all that.
Oh,
Full
wow.
service.
Do people still do wedding albums?
They do, yeah. Yeah. So
it's
the
probably
thing
a bound book now, not an album with pictures in it, right?
So yeah, if you think about it, when we post photos on social media, we don't get to enjoy them as much as when there's a printed product in our home, like an album on your coffee table, where anytime you have someone come over to your house, you have a conversation piece that you can show someone, or hanging their photos on your wall to decorate your home. There's just a whole nother feeling you have when you can enjoy your photos physically.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I'm old school, right? So I like to flip through and look, and it is a whole different experience actually looking at them printed than online, I think. So
yeah. So media is very popular with photos. I don't think print will ever go away. There's always something special about having that book.
I think so too. I think so too. Jon, it has been an absolute pleasure speaking with you, and your email information will be posted here. So anybody who needs any type of photography, it sounds like, Jon, you've pretty much run the gamut, and great experience and wonderful to work with. So check out that website, and thanks again for joining me.